You know the words ANC intellectualism never got said in the same sentence as the ANC is actually intellectually competent. And we can see that when it came through to the NEC, and we can see the policy decisions that came out of it. You've had a look, Ramon. What did the ANC have to say?
Yeah, it's quite remarkable. So the ANC, they have the elective conference, and during the course of that conference, they have a policy discussion. Then they set down the policies for the next 5 years. Last time around in 2017, it was like take all the land and the NHI and all that other good stuff, none of which was passed fundamentally. So this time around, they had a far more interrogative, understanding of the issues, and they've decided that they've come up with a few plans to save themselves more than South Africa, but you know what I mean. Notably, one recommendation is that the Department of Public Enterprises must be scrapped and state-owned companies must be placed in with their line departments. So Eskom won't be part of the Ministry of Public Enterprises. It will go in line with the Ministry of Energy, for example, which makes me believe that everyone hates Pravin Gordhan because he's the Minister of Public Enterprises. Maybe because he's Indian. Indians overall great. Indian economy is not great. All right. So do you care about that at all, Byron? That Eskom now falls under the Ministry of Energy?
Nope. So this is the whole idea that all these SEOs are somehow going to be part of their own departments, so that their departments can fuck them up more than Praveen did. And obviously, the first order will be like obviously Gweta Matasha, who's currently the I don't know, mineral resource, whatever. He's like, Eskom, it's mine. And then we all know what his plan is. He's going to have like 3 Escoms and a minibus and a space shuttle to space, and I don't know, whatever. But clearly, you got a moron without a matric running Eskom now. So, okay, that's cool. And you got to think of what else that would mean. You know, the road accident fund that pays out all those accident claims? Like, that would now be with Mr. Fix for All. Like, you know, the guy that presided over all the rail stations getting stolen? I said stations, not railway tracks, because even the stations have been stolen. So, I don't know. I suppose you're going to steal more money. Like, and then just think about it. Like, we have that minister that's responsible for getting all the vaccines for COVID. Remember those vaccines that apparently didn't work and we paid Cuba for them? And then we put them in the fridge but forgot to close the fridge and they all spoiled? Yeah, they're going to be responsible now for things like Denel, the arms manufacturer. Like, I can't see what could go wrong. But no, it's cool. Go for it.
Yeah, me neither. So another very important affirmation of the commission is that the 350 rand like sort of COVID grant will become a basic income grant, which is fine. When they asked how they were going to afford it, they said we will just tell the government to afford it without a hint of irony. That's exactly
That's exactly what
what
they
they
said.
said.
That's actually what they said. They said, we want a basic income grant. We have the social relief grant. Just make that a basic income grant. And everybody said, how are you going to pay for it? And they were like, tell the government to do it. Like, of course, just print the money or something. Zimbabwe
It's
style.
not our job. Yeah, it's like a very fat person like shouting at a mirror as if the person in the mirror is someone completely different from them. This is the analogy you must use. So they're going to ask the government, which is themselves, how they're going to afford a policy of the ANC, which is going to bankrupt the
And
country.
their own
Very
minister,
good.
who's currently Minister of Finance, said, I can't afford this. I don't know where the money's going to come from. And they said, you'll find the money. It's like, okay, cool, man. Look, ANC way, I suppose.
Yeah. All right. What else do they agree on? They agree that South Africa must transition from a high carbon economy to a low carbon economy. I think the transition has been completed, though. I don't know why they're talking about it. I'm not sure if anyone knows. Like, we don't have power for 8 hours a day, so that's very low carbon. And like on average, I think low carbon is the state of play in South Africa. Not because we wanted it, but because there's no choice.
Mate, the only way I can see that we're going to transition successfully to a low carbon economy is if we get rid of the guys that are spewing all the shit out their mouth, also known as the ANC. I mean, they must be the highest emitters of carbon at the moment. I mean, the amount of farts that come out of their face. Because at the end of the day, like this is what they had to say. We want to keep coal because it employs a lot of people and we need those jobs. Yeah, typical Montasha type position, but we are committed to the green agenda. So we are going to transition. And everybody said, well, you mean like the EU agreement you signed up to? And they were like, no, 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 we didn't sign up to it. Now, we've covered this in videos before. That loan agreement that the EU says they'll give South Africa to decarbonize wasn't kind of connected to De Ruyter. They were like, he's an honest guy, he won't steal all the money. Now De Ruyter's resigned, so I'm pretty sure they called them up and said, you know that loan we said, yeah, we're not too keen. So the ANC says, well, actually, we haven't signed the paperwork. We are committed to going green, decarbonizing, but for now, we're going to, we want to keep the coal because we need the jobs.
Yeah. Or they could just carry on fucking up Eskom and will be low carbon anyway. So mission accomplished.
I don't, I don't understand this. I mean, actually, they asked the president about this at the conference, and he said, some of the power stations aren't that old, so why would we decommission them? Yeah, they might not be old, mate, but they don't fucking work. So, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if it's 2 years old. If it don't work, it don't work, huh?
Yeah, so they have said that in terms of that like sort of loan to greenify the coal things, they said they will only be signed if it's in the country's interests, which is it's a strange step away from Cyril going with a begging bowl to Great Britain saying, "Bus, you must pay for a colonial uh, global warming." Remember, people called him a terrible fellow when he went to Britain because he just begged shamelessly. And now they're thinking, no, we're not going to beg. We'll only beg if it's within the country's interest. And if you replace country with ANC cadres, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, let's not forget that one of the journos described at the time seeing Ramaphosa being unashamedly begging and unashamedly lecturing the UK about how they must give them handouts. He said he had never seen a president go with a begging bowl so quickly to a foreign nation. And yeah, I mean, he's clearly never been to South Africa or stopped at a robot, has he?
So, what else is there in terms of the NEC? So, okay, the social grants for everyone. Hold on. Hold on. Byron, Carl, just cut this out. This is the point of the video, Byron. We're trying to make something funny here. You can't just like interrupt the joke, for God's sake. All right. All right. So what else was there in the policy? So I'm looking. Okay. So they want the 350 to remain as a social grant forever for everyone. They want to take away Pravin Gordhan and cut his testicles off, and they are going to. Shit, what was the last one? Oh, and then they want to do a low carbon economy. They've already done like all three of them, right? The grant is still available for everyone. We are a low carbon economy because Eskom can't do anything about it. And Pravin Gordhan was castrated like 15 years ago. So mission accomplished. Who knew we could say that with regards to the ANC? But here you go.
Yeah, and I suppose if you actually put that in context, it may be that their their bar is just so low now because the last time they had an elective conference, they came out with wonderful, fantastical ideas like expropriating everybody's property and taking away their firearms and just all the commie ideas that you could possibly have a wet dream over, and they did fuck all of them. So now they're like, guys, set the bar lower. Huh? This time we have a basic income grant, which we've already got. Yeah, job done, and then. We'll have low carbon. Well, we've already got low carbon. Job done. And then they're like, what else can we do, guys? And they're like, don't set the bar too high. Maybe next time. Leave some for next time. And it's like, okay, cool, man. At least I can go to the next conference and go, we hit our goals. We hit them very early. We achieved everything we set out to do. Oh, man. I love the ANC.
We hit them as soon as we told everyone what our goals are. An amazing accomplishment to the ANC. Very well done. Let us know down in the comments down below. Do you like these policies? Do you think that they will be useful for the country? And most importantly, why have the ANC. Sorry, Carl. And most importantly, why has the ANC achieved most of them already? It's a very weird thing. Thanks for watching, everyone. Cheers.